What's up everyone, James here. Today in this video I am going to show you how to set up a Blackwater aquarium in just 10 minutes. That's the plan, so let's get to it. Alright guys, this is the aquarium. It's nothing special or anything like that. It's a 15-litre aquarium I got on Amazon, dead cheap. I think it was only about 20 quid. I've got a little Night Crew classic LED light there. And yeah, this is the setup. So we're going to make a little Blackwater aquarium. So we're going to create the substrate first and then go through the other bits and pieces. All right, so in my bucket here, as you can see, this is what we're going to use as the base of the substrate. It is a mix of soil, potted soil, and peat moss. So it's got lots of organics in there crushed down, and it's going to be very nutritious for the bottom of the aquarium. We're going to lay some play sand for the top layer of the aquarium just to keep all the nutrients in, and then when we plant, we're obviously going to plant it in the sand, not the soil, and that way the plant's roots will go down very deep into this very nutritious soil and create a very nice substrate for us. So with this soil, we want it a little bit damp, but we don't want it absolutely soaking wet. And what we're going to do is put that into the aquarium. Excuse the lovely marigolds, but I don't want to get my hands too dirty to show you all the other bits. So yeah, what we're going to do is get that in there, right there. Just to forewarn you, this is a very messy job. It gets absolutely all over your hands and stuff. So like, I can see already got some on the glass there. But yeah, just make sure you get a nice base layer there and push it down real nice and tight, so the substrate is really flat there. All right, so you can see that the substrate is down there. It is very moist, so make sure it is definitely wet whilst you put it down, just so you've got some sort of bonding thing there to sort of keep the soil together, and make sure it's pushed down hard there, so you create a nice tight layer. So next we have the pond sand here. This is aquatic safe pond sand, so it's not got any harmful chemicals in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to create the top layer there of the aquarium. Don't go too hardcore on the sand, like try not to let the soil come over the sand is the best method there. So essentially what you want to do is create a very good thick layer of sand, just to make sure that the soil doesn't go all the way through, because you want to create a nice layer there, so when all the nitrates and all the bad stuff goes down into the substrate, gets absorbed by the soil, but anything bad like ammonia can't get back through the sand. So as you can see there, we've created a nice thick layer of sand and a nice base substrate there, which is going to give our aquarium a real good head start in the cycle of the aquarium. Okay, next up what you need to do is add some hardscape. I am going to base this on my favorite river stream, which is the Amazon rainforest. So the idea would be to create something very similar to maybe what's next to here, but yeah, so I'm going to probably use some of this jungle vallisneria there, and maybe just have more plants in this one, as in just jungle val and just a ton of botanicals on the floor, and just give it a nice sort of natural river look. So first things first, we're going to add some plants to the aquarium. So I've got some jungle vallisneria here, like I said, and we're going to add that to the fish tank. Now what you want to do when adding plants to this type of system is that you don't push the roots right to the bottom. You keep them in the layer of sand and then let the plant gradually push its roots into the substrate, and that's where it'll pick up all its nutrients. Alright, so you can see everything in there now. I might add some more plants as we go along, but essentially, yeah, well, I'm hoping what's going to happen is the jungle val is just going to grow throughout this whole tank and create one really nice sort of grassy looking aquarium. And like I said, we're going to boil up some botanicals in a bit and get them in the bottom. Next up, before we fill up anything, I am going to put a filter in it. I've got a normal sort of mechanical filter that I'm just going to keep in the side just to give it a bit of surface agitation, and I'm going to put a heater in there as well. So I've got one kicking around here. Here's the heater. It came from an old aquarium setup. It's still working, just needs a little bit of a clean, but we can get it in the tank. Okay, so we got the filter in. What we're going to do is fill up the aquarium just a little bit, and yeah, sort of see how it goes. Be careful when filling up the aquarium. You don't want to disturb the sand here. You want to keep it as calm as possible. So we're going to be putting something like either a piece of plastic in there, or a sort of a diffuser or something. So this right here is something that I've used for a long time. All it is a 2-litre bottle cut up, and I've just had a few holes drilled in the bottom, and then what I'll do is put a hose pipe in the top there, and it will gently distribute the water into the aquarium. So as you can see here, I've got a variety of stuff from some sort of nano cataba leaves there, jackfruit leaves, mango leaves, mulberry leaves, and lots of pods and cones there. So we're going to boil this all up and get that into the aquarium. Just a quick note with botanicals: when you are doing them, I personally recommend boiling the botanicals for probably between 20 and 40 minutes, just to make sure that there's no sort of pollutants or chemicals that might be on the leaves. Depends on where you collected them from or bought them from, but it's always best to be safe than sorry. And then once you've done that, pour out the water and then put the leaves into the aquarium, and then over time they will gradually release their own tannins. Alright everyone, so it's been about 2 hours now since I added the water. If you can see, there's a lot of little bits going on in the water at the moment. It's just I added some of this safe start bacteria just to kind of kickstart the cycle. Obviously there's all the nutrients in the substrate there, but we want to make sure that we've got some beneficial bacteria already in the tank, just to kind of get things moving a bit quicker. So all the botanicals are boiled now, so we're going to start putting things into the aquarium, and yeah, just make it look nice and cool with the Blackwater effect. So we're going to have the pod as the sort of focal point, and then what I'm going to do is lay some of the bigger leaves down, these jackfruit leaves, just to kind of cover the substrate a bit, and then I'm going to add some of the smaller botanicals on top. Alright guys, so you can see now I have added the botanicals in the aquarium, and this is one of the other reasons why you boil them, is to make sure that they sink to the bottom. If you don't boil most leaves and stuff, they will just end up floating to the surface. You can see this coconut curl here on the left there is still sort of slightly raised, and it's obviously that it's not waterlogged enough, but essentially, yeah, what we're doing is building a substrate. So once those botanicals break down, there'll be a lot of nutrition that will go into the sand there, which will be part of the food web that we create. Using botanicals obviously has a lot of benefits, and the one that we're also after is colouring the water. So what we want is a really nice tea-stained look. Now the botanicals that I've put in will leach tannins after a certain amount of time, give it a day or so, and the water will be brown. But what also you can do is boil up tannin tea bags, for example, and then pour the water from that into your aquarium. You can see here, this is about 20 minutes worth of just soaking the tea bag in the water here, and it starts to make the water brown. So the longer you leave it, basically the darker the water will get. We want just a little bit of a tint now, and what I might do is just put the tea bag into the aquarium overnight and just let it sort of soak as well. Lastly, we've got two more things, some Java moss and some hornwort, just to add to the aquarium and give it a nice natural look. It's places for shrimp and other fish to eat and algae to grow on, and yeah, just a hiding spot as well for any animals if they want to start reproducing. And it's as easy as that. So just remember a couple of things. Obviously, when adding botanicals, just look out for pH swings in your water. You just need to make sure, especially if you've got very soft water and the buffering on it is not very high, then obviously you can get random swings in pH, but hopefully the substrate will help to counteract that, make it nice and neutral. Also, just be on the lookout for bacterial blooms. It's mainly sort of funguses and stuff that might grow on your botanicals. This is a completely natural thing that happens, and it's very healthy for the aquarium, but some people get mega freaked out by it when they see all this sort of like white fur stuff appearing over some of the items that you put in the tank. So just something to be. Obviously this tank behind me is not the finished article. I might add a few bits over the next couple of days, but what I'll do is I'll let the tank settle, and then I will show some cool B-roll sort of shots of the aquarium once it's all set up and the water's nice and brown. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and let me know what you think in the comments below. Did it help you out? What mistakes have you made? What things do you want to know about Blackwater aquariums? Definitely let me know in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, and until next time, have a nice day.